This is Portland, Oregon, the once beautiful city that's now dealing with a serious homeless problem. I decided to find out why and how these people became homeless.
That's a good question. How did you kind of become homeless yourself? And so did you start using meth before or after you became homeless?
I think meth back in my 20s.
Don't talk to me, fucking bitch! Hey,
Stay tuned. How's it going, man?
Right off the bat, we spotted a homeless person that was messing with the electrical wires of a building.
What's your name?
Nate.
Nate. And so, like, how long have you personally been out here, like, you know, in the shelters and been on the streets?
It's been about a year now. I was last February, like February of last year. I was living with a friend, and he told me that everything would be cool with me staying with him, but then it wasn't cool with his like landlords, and so I had to just leave, basically.
Yeah.
It sucked. Yeah, so it's been about a year.
Yeah. And so, like, how do you feel like, what's the main things you feel like that you need to do to get yourself, like, off the streets?
I've been planning on going to like Hooper Detox.
Yeah. Do you use like fentanyl?
Occasionally. I don't.
Yeah.
I used to do it a lot more. I have been trying to cut back, but it's difficult because the withdrawals from it are just so rough that you need to be in like a detox in order to like get
What are
past
some
it.
of like the like symptoms of like when you're going through withdrawals with it?
Your whole body is just really like sore and painful. Like you don't want to do anything besides lay in a bed, but you can't get comfortable or like you can't sleep. You're just awake, just in pain, and it's just you feel depressed, like you just want to die, but you can't do anything about it. Is the worst part. Like there's no solution to it. I mean, they have like a medication regimen that they give you at the detoxes that really helps, but even there it's still really rough. But at least when you're going through it in like a controlled environment, it feels a lot better.
And so does your family know that you're out here?
Yeah, I don't talk to a whole lot of my family, but my like immediate family, like my mom, she knows, and she's, you know, she just wants me to, you know, find something else to get out of this situation. She really just wants me to do better, and however I can make that happen, you know?
Yeah. If there's one misconception that like a lot of people have about the homeless that you wish they actually like knew the truth to, what would you say that like misconception is?
Not everyone is a drug addict, or not everyone is out here because they're a drug addict, I should say. Some people only start to use because of this situation, because it's such a miserable, you know, way of life. A lot of people I've met just, you know, like they are out here because of bad luck, and then they would start using because they were just in, you know, big groups of people who were using, or because they were just, you know, they don't value their lives as much. I think that's the big thing, is I've seen a lot of people who think that it's all just, you know, because of bad decisions, or because
They all think it's like drugs and things, when it's like really like some people actually went through like a situation that like made them literally like homeless, right?
Yeah, it was out of, some people it was completely out of their control, like it was just, you know, like bad luck or whatever. And that's one thing that a lot of them will like tell me, is like even if you don't think so, it could still happen to you, like when you're 50 or 60 or whatever. Because I've met some pretty old people out here who are just, you know, they're out here in the cold when it's, you know, raining and whatnot.
And Nate wasn't wrong. This quote states that 1 in 4 people are over the age of 55.
I mean, what do you think the main thing Portland needs to do to like help the homeless situation out here right now?
That's a tough one. Affordable housing for sure. Because I've noticed there's shelters, which again, those are really like not the best places to be at. And there's like a few like...
Why is that? Why is the shelters a bad place to be at for a lot of people?
There's a lot of theft that goes on, a lot of, you know, unmonitored like violence and like drama like that. Like, people will steal from each other, then fight over it. And the staff doesn't really care enough to do anything about it. They just, you know, let it happen. And I've had a few things stolen from me while I've been there, and they didn't care at all. And
There was just like no support, really.
there was nothing. They didn't like investigate it. They didn't like do anything. They have cameras, but they just said that they can't check them. So it was just like my loss, basically.
Yeah.
So this immediately eliminated the solution of a homeless shelter for a lot of these people.
Yeah. I've seen some pretty like terrible stuff from people that are just like out of their mind on drugs, and like they'll, you know, smoke.
Just fentanyl and like blues, right?
I'm not sure if it's just fentanyl, because I think it might be the meth that makes people like, you know, start screaming and like acting really violent with people. Like I've seen them do that in public, like in front of children, and like I've seen people like with the fentanyl, I think, is their pants will like come down and they just don't care at all. Like they'll be like basically like, you know, exposing themselves to people, and like they're too out of it to even care, and that's really disgusting to me, honestly.
Yeah. And I appreciate your time. How old are you?
27.
27? All right, well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, I got some food. I got some
yeah?
food for you as well.
Steven.
Steven?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Me, 47.
47? How long have you been out here on the streets out here?
5 years or so.
5 years. Are you from Portland originally?
No,
No. Where are you from?
I'm from down south.
Down south? If you could have one thing that you would want like the world to know about like your situation and like what you've been through, like what would you want like the world to know about your specific situation and like why you're down here?
Because I've done everything I could there in Texas. I've done the best I could. And I don't really have anybody that cares about me there. They wouldn't even, you know, they wouldn't even give me a drink of water at the fucking door. I go to the door, they wouldn't open the door, give me a drink of water. That ain't family.
Yeah.
My sister tells me that it's not her job to take care of her mama. She has a job and a life. Okay, well, I see where you stand.
Yeah.
You ain't my fucking campo. Can't take care of your fucking mama that brought you in the world.
Facts. Do you use any drugs of any kind out here or anything like that?
Yeah.
What drugs?
She's mad and weed.
Meth and weed? Yeah. What do you think the main thing is that Portland needs to do to, you know, like help out the situation out here?
Professional investigation team. You'll find out.
Yeah.
It comes from somewhere.
Yeah, and so like, how did you kind of become homeless yourself?
I came home 2 days after the pandemic.
After the pandemic? Did you lose your house, or where you were renting, or how did it kind of?
I got house and land in the south that's sitting there.
Oh, you own?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what's the main reason that you don't go like back down there right now?
I had bad experiences there.
Bad experiences? Yeah.
Family members dying and shit. A couple of them in my house.
Does any of your family know that you're out here right now?
No.
No? Do you feel like Portland is doing enough to help the homeless out here? Or do you feel like the shelters are kind of a bad
Hey, I
option?
just went to Hooper this morning to detox. They wouldn't take me because I refused to take. Wanted me to fucking leak my HIPAA information to them. They wanted my social security number. I told them I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get in the program. And I said, well, I'm not signing that then.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll see y'all later.
And so like the main reason that you don't like the shelters is why?
Well, if you're going to the program, y'all want your information. And my understanding, that's against the law.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The IRS don't even ask for your social fucking security number.
Mm-hmm.
The IRS don't ask you, how the hell can they ask you?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. And so if there's like one thing that you wish like people knew about like the homeless out here, what would you want people to like actually know?
Dangerous out here. Nobody homeless out here.
You don't really feel too safe out here?
Not around downtown area, I wouldn't necessarily say it's safe, no.
It's not safe out here? What are the most violent crimes you've seen or craziest stuff you've seen down here?
Fight every day right here, but that's not too bad. People get crazy everywhere. Really, people that don't have no common sense go crazy.
Yeah.
People ain't there.
I mean, do you personally feel safe down here?
Most of the time.
Most of the time?
Yeah,
What government policies do you feel like should be passed in order to like help, you know, homeless situations like in cities so they don't get out of control?
I don't know. It's gotta be. They need a marijuana friendly rehab. A lot of people get off drugs if they have marijuana.
Yeah.
They're able to smoke marijuana
Yeah.
and get in a program that don't just kick you out for any little crap.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
will. Keep guys kicked me out for last time for shit that wasn't even my fault.
Yeah.
I tried to put the dude's hand away because fucking raised his hand at me. And they said I put my hand over there. He's spitting me some fucking shit box.
People that say that they can't quit fentanyl, what do they say the main reason why they can't quit?
Did they get sick?
You get
They get sick on it, sick without it. Sick with it, sick without it.
so it's like no matter what they do, they just
Yeah. Completely so sick, they gotta go, let them go get it. Go be a fucking, they gonna get up.
yeah. And so did you start using meth before or after you became homeless?
I did meth, back in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was raised on Ritalin 4 times a day for 12 years of my life.
Do you feel like using meth contributed to your situation on why you are homeless?
No, not particularly.
No. Well, I appreciate your time, man.
It doesn't help the situation, no.
Yeah.
Not you to be homeless right now. I did have a pretty good job over it.
Yeah.
Kevin left Martin Luther King Jr. where he never would pay me what I would work, so I quit.
You cover the camera just a little bit. But I got you some food, man.
Just to hear both sides of the story, we actually interviewed a cop as well, who asked us to blur out his face for privacy reasons.
But so, what's your name?
I'm Josh.
Josh?
Yeah.
How long have you been working security out here in Portland?
God, 6 years, give or take?
6 years. Yeah. And so, like, what's kind of the main reason a lot of homeless people like don't go into shelters these days? Would you say?
They honestly, they just don't want. They don't want to be clean. They don't want to get clean. They want to just hang out here on the streets more than anything. And it's unfortunate to see it a lot because, especially during the winter times, you get so much. People's frozen bodies on the streets and a lot of overdoses lately, and
man,
it's unfortunate to see.
And so, like, what do you think the number one thing like Portland as a city has to do to like improve the whole entire like situation, like what's going on?
That's a good question. Honestly, that's so one, people need to vote differently. Truthfully,
Yeah.
I mean, the mayor and all that stuff. Not to talk bad on city councils and all that, but they just stopped caring. It seems like out here more than anything. And
I know a lot of people that supported the decriminalization of drugs. Like their plan was to kind of have a lot of rehabilitation programs in place for the homeless people when they did that. But it seems like Portland's kind of missing that whole rehabilitation program aspect of that. What's kind of your opinion on that and the decriminalization of drugs?
I mean, like, see, the hardest part is it got out of hand way too fast. Like weed and whatnot, whatever. Weed's no big deal.
Yeah.
Don't care about that. It's the fentanyl, the heroin, all the other crazy hardcore stuff that's out here on the streets.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's killing people off with, because they have no idea what they're getting. So, like some of the stuff that came up from California recently, some of the fentanyl that came from there, literally dropping people within 1 to 2 pills that they're typically doing, 3 pills or 3 little tabs of blues.
And then they just drop.
And then they just drop dead, and then we run over with some Narcan and hope to God and pray that we can get them back to life. But you find them down the street, overdosed again within an hour or two.
It's sad, man, but I appreciate your time and
absolutely.
Thank you for your time, man.
1 minute later.
Don't talk to me, fucking bitch! Hey,
A few minutes later.
Hi, me.
So, what's your name, man?
Yeah, my name's Ghost.
Ghost?
Yeah.
How long have you lived in Portland for?
Yeah, I survived this probably at 52. I don't know. Probably like I lied that year, so I think we also for thinking about all this.
And how long have you been out here, like on the streets?
Yeah, I've been out here since I was a kid, but I've gotten involved in some places.
Yeah.
Since then.
Do you use fentanyl or any type of drugs like that out here?
Yeah, I get everything from the dry space. So it's the same derived space. The alchemy government still doesn't allow me inside.
Yeah.
Because of the actual facts that I have.
Okay.
Which is forgetting what that question is.
Do you support the decriminalization of drugs out here?
Yeah, I support a baby on the lap. I support a kid on the lap. So I support it as long as everybody can see that off.
Would you ever consider going into like a homeless shelter out here? Yeah.
I consider it.
What's the worst thing about the shelter though?
Not the amount, but the consideration isn't either. But it's that answer to it. That's how much nobody cares about nobody. You wouldn't want to do that because of sorcerers.
Yeah. And how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 6 years old.
You're older than 6 years old.
No, it's right. It's cool, but I've got a deformity. That's why I'm out here.
Yeah.
I shrink the walls if I stay there. But it's called Benjamin Walton, or it's called Woolskit.
Okay.
My blood sips out, so it skips often.
And if you had to point to like one thing,
my age is 31. I spit, but
so
that's
he's 31.
the light that we have to listen to.
He's 31.
I mean,
so are you from Portland?
From Space Hot.
Are you from Portland originally?
Yeah. I was born and raised here.
You're born and raised here?
Yes,
does your family know that you're out here?
Yeah. Yeah, my family's getting bread though. So I'm a farm. I'm getting my gold slits.
Yeah.
They gonna come out of the walls and stuff. But I'm gonna make sure everybody comes back. It exploded. I'm gonna get half, but I'm telling you, this.
Becky, how long have you been out here on the streets?
I've been on the streets since 2015.
2015. What do you think like the main thing like regular people need to know about the homeless that they don't know right now?
Not all the homeless people are on drugs.
Not all the homeless people are on drugs.
Everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
Some of us are on the streets for tragedy.
Yeah.
I lost my son, my husband, my mother in 1 year.
Yeah. And does anybody else in your family that knows you know that you're out here? No. What's kind of like the main problem with like that you're facing when like you're trying to get off the streets versus like, you know, the income? Yeah. And so it's like the main reason why you can't get a job is why? Just because you're disabled, and then you can't live anywhere, and so then
When you try to get a job, there's just not enough people that will hire homeless.
Yeah. Do you personally feel like that the city of Portland is doing enough to help the situation?
No.
No? And how has your perspective changed like since being homeless? Like just on life?
I value life more.
Yeah, value life more.
I've met a lot of people and I've heard a lot of stories, and you know, if there was more people that were open to just listen to somebody, you know.
If you had like your opportunity to like share your story with the world, like what would you want people to know about your situation?
I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, I'm a person.
Yeah.
You know, we're all people.
Yeah.
Just because we're homeless doesn't mean we're not people. It doesn't mean that we don't have feelings.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. Yeah, that's one thing I feel like is kind of messed up too. Like a lot of people, you know, will, you know, treat homeless people like kind of bad and things like that. And it's like, they're still people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But thank you for your time. And I got you some food and things like that just to kind of help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Bye-bye.
Looking back on all the interviews we did, we learned that every situation is different depending on the homeless person you talk to, and that although drugs may play a factor in homelessness, they're not the underlying cause of why people become homeless. I think we all need to remember that people like Nate, Steven, Becky, and Ghost are all people at the end of the day, and we need to do what we can to help them out when we can do so in our own lives. Thank you for watching this video.
大悪視野